Get up for Calli Coquette!
Drag is my full-time job, so I like to treat it like a job. I will usually plan out my numbers and what I'm wearing at least a couple days in advance. Drag allows me to take all of my creative hobbies and interests and sort of merge them into one ongoing project. I can be sort of a horror, spooky kind of character one day and the next day be wearing a fabulous gown and just be really glamorous. So it allows me to do so many different things and just feel so much more powerful when I'm in it.
People don't understand what queer spaces can be outside of sexual stuff. And so it's very easy for lies and people being misleading to convince people using emotion that this is something to be scared about, even though it's not. It puts queer and trans and gender nonconforming people in a place of being fearful of being prosecuted or, confronted for something that they're doing based on this bill.
Drag is just, it can be so many different things. And the notion that it's all sexual or perverted or anything like that is a very stupid argument because, you can see those shows at 11 p.m. on a Thursday night in a closed space, or you can go to Pride and see really, really family-friendly, sparkly, fun numbers that everybody can enjoy.
It doesn't do anything to prevent children from being exposed to sexual content that isn't already prevented in law right now.
It's definitely very scary, especially as a trans person and a drag queen all at the same time. It gets you down sometimes, but you just have to keep persevering. When I was still living and performing in Cleveland, there was an attack on a church for having a drag story hour. There was a Molotov cocktail thrown there. Luckily, nobody was inside. Nobody was hurt. When something like that happens, it, I think, makes everybody pause and say, okay, we need to support these people. We need to surround them with love and admiration and come together and figure out what we can do to make things better. What keeps me going is to know that my shows and the spaces that I create are what can allow people like a younger version of myself, young trans kids coming out to a drag show or a gay bar for the first time, allowing them the space to thrive and be themselves and be inspired. Right now, I run 4 different shows in Ohio, and I'm starting a 5th one in the new year. I have a monthly cabaret style show in Cleveland called Claws Out. I have a brunch in the German Village in Columbus called Parsons Pride. I do weekly trivia at Slammers called Are You Smarter Than a Lesbian? And right now I'm also doing a Dragula viewing party at Space Bar.
On Dragula.
This week we're resurrecting a challenge that the fans hated.
When I'm in drag, I feel powerful because my innermost thoughts and creations are being displayed to the world, and especially when it's being given a lot of love, it just makes me feel so much more confident.
I think one of the things that's most, important for Americans is our freedom of speech and our freedom of expression. And even if you disagree with someone, they still have a right to express themselves. And this bill takes that away from people just purely based on the way that they're dressed or the way that they're looking.
I really hope that somehow, through the face of some of the worst political times that we've seen in the 2000s and even before that it will cause the community to come together and bring about real change.